Hi guys. As promised, in this video I will tell you about the ways we want to care for and support the missionaries we work with at Disciple the Nations. For those of you that don't know our history, Disciple the Nations was started because of an opportunity to operate a ministry center in Honduras. When the board of directors met for the first time, they had to decide if the organization would be designed to simply operate one ministry or if it would be created with a bigger, more global purpose in mind. Without any hesitation, they unanimously agreed that God was leading them to create a new organization that would mobilize brand new missionaries to the nations. And more specifically, that the new organization would focus on caring for and supporting their missionaries, ensuring that they have the help they need to succeed at what God had called them to do. Now, this is very dear to my heart. For years, I've watched as missionaries have served the Lord and have sacrificed so much to accomplish the Great Commission. But unfortunately, I've also seen them struggle and even quit and come home because they've not received the care and the support that they needed. A few years ago, some former missionaries came over to our house. They sat down on our couch and they cried. They told Candy and me how they had felt so isolated and alone while they were overseas, how they had felt forgotten. They actually used the word abandoned. It was hard to hear. At the time, I couldn't imagine what it would have been like to be in another country, away from your family and your friends, and to feel like that. The reality is, 7,000 missionaries quit every year. And of those, 71% admit that they quit due to preventable reasons, meaning that every year about 5,000 missionaries receive such a lack of care and support from their supporters, their churches, and their agency that ultimately they quit and come home. Disciple the Nations is here to change that. We work with sending churches to ensure that missionaries have the best care and support possible, and we provide it at the most affordable administrative cost of any full-service mission agency. Now, we do this because we're not interested in growing an agency. We understand that missionaries who are well cared for are more able and equipped to advance God's kingdom for the long haul. This is exactly what the Apostle John said to a church in the first century about serving and sending missionaries. He said, "It is a faithful thing you do in all your efforts for these brothers. You will do well to send them on their journey in a manner worthy of God, for they have gone out for the sake of the name, accepting nothing from the Gentiles. Therefore, we ought to support people like these, that we may be fellow workers for the truth." Serving and caring for missionaries is our privilege, and we want to do it well, in a manner worthy of God. We partner with churches to send missionaries to work for the sake of the beautiful name of Christ, and we want them to succeed. We want them to flourish because ultimately we want God to be glorified. We want the nations reached and discipled. John says that when we care and send well, we become fellow workers for the truth. We love partnering with God's churches to send God's people to accomplish God's mission.